have the actual family saying, how dare you? The actual sister saying, you guys are scum and you deserve the worst. And this is how bad Kamala Harris is doing at the polls. This is how bad Kamala Harris is performing. This is how bad her campaign is going. She actually came out of her house for 5 minutes to call Trump Hitler and then leave. Actually, less than that. It was a 3-minute speech where she comes out. And by the way, this is really strange. Hold on a second. I want to share this. This is really, really strange because it is very rare that you would ever see a politician come out and address the American public. Remember, this is an absolute travesty of a DEI hire who has not only never done a real, actual former press conference, she has not executed one single formal press conference. As a matter of fact, the only thing that she's ever done was the Brett Baer interview. Oh, by the way, I've got a comment from Brett Baer as well. I'll talk about that in just a second. The only thing that she has done is, and it was very fast because her handler started panicking. You remember that? We went live during that interview. She hasn't done a single formal press conference. She hasn't done a single town hall taking real questions from real Americans. We're 13 days away from picking the next president of the United States of America, the highest office in the land. And you mean to tell me you come out and do a quick 3-minute press conference and call instead of, well, let's listen to this and then we'll talk about it. This is absolutely awful. Watch this.
So yesterday we learned that Donald Trump's former chief of staff, John Kelly, a retired 4-star general, confirmed that while Donald Trump was president, he said he wanted generals like Adolf Hitler had. Donald Trump said that because he does not want a military that is loyal to the United States Constitution. He wants a military that is loyal to him. He wants a military who will be loyal to him personally, one that will obey his orders even when he tells them to break the law or abandon their oath to the Constitution of the United States. In just the past week, Donald Trump has repeatedly called his fellow Americans the enemy from within.
No, just you.
He even said that he would use the United States military to go after American citizens.
Lies.
And let's
That's a lie.
be clear about who he considers to be the enemy from within. Anyone who refuses to bend a knee or dares to criticize him would qualify in his mind as the enemy within.
You.
Like judges.
Just you.
Like journalists.
No.
Like nonpartisan election officials.
Liars.
It's deeply troubling and incredibly dangerous that Donald Trump
You
would
are.
invoke Adolf Hitler, the man who is responsible for the deaths of 6 million Jews and hundreds of thousands of Americans.
Unbelievable.
All of this is further evidence for the American people of who Donald Trump really is. This is a window into who Donald Trump really is.
You're a travesty.
From the people who know him best.
You're a
from
liar.
The people who worked with him side by side.
All you do
in
is
the Oval Office
lie.
And in the situation.
Kamala.
And it is clear from John Kelly's words that Donald Trump is someone who, I quote, certainly falls into the general definition of fascists.
Yeah, that he looked up online.
Who in fact vowed to be a dictator on day one.
Why hasn't he put it in his autobiography?
As his personal militia.
Why didn't he put it in his book?
Carry out his personal and political vendettas. Donald Trump is increasingly unhinged and unstable. And in a second term, people like John Kelly would not be there to be the guardrails against his propensities and his actions. Those who once tried to stop him from pursuing his worst impulses.
Why didn't you tell the American public about Biden, you
and
liar?
No longer be there to rein him in.
Why didn't you alert the American public?
So the bottom line is this. We know what Donald Trump wants.
Yeah, he wants America great
power.
again. That's what he wants.
The question in 13 days will be, what do the American people
You're going to lose.
Thank you.
You're going to lose. You're going to lose bad. You are awful. Doesn't take any questions. She doesn't take any questions and just runs like a rat. She's a little rat. Just runs like a rat. Oh my God, how vile. This woman cannot win. She cannot win. Please, for the love of God. Here's my question to you, cackler. Here's my question to you, phony in chief. Why can't you actually campaign like a real concrete salt of the earth candidate who actually cares about our country? Why do you actually you actually come outside of your little tiny house with the fake every setup, with the fake concerned look on your face, and you actually have the temerity, the balls, the audacity to actually confer and refer to a fake, misleading, propagandist article when the American public still has no idea where you stand. You flip-flop, you have fake accents, you pander, you don't admit that you're not black, you're not African American, you don't admit that you have no clue what you're doing, you don't admit that you should have alerted the public, you should have warned America. Vegetable in Chief Biden made consequential decisions that affected hundreds of millions, if not billions, of human beings' lives. And you lied because you're a liar, because you have no soul, because you're vapid, you're vacuous, you're an empty shell, and you don't stand for anything. You don't mean anything. You're utter, unequivocal, unabashed garbage. She's fired. Just ask Professor Nez. Quite frankly, probably I would say Professor Nez knows more than anything. He's worked with them. He's been commissioned by these universities to go down there. He knows who she is. And they're nasty people. I'm telling you right now, they are nasty people. You gotta listen to Professor Nez because quite frankly, probably he knows more than most people do. Thank you, Mr. President. I will do my duty. I will faithfully execute my oath of office as an American citizen to constantly spread the truth and to combat these lies. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Oh my God, it's just awful. It's just absolutely awful. She comes outside and does a crappy 2-minute, 3-minute press conference when the entire world is wondering still, where do you stand on issues? Where do you stand on anything? I mean, do you have absolutely any clue about what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, where are you going to execute it from, what strategy, what plan, what ideas, what thoughts that are not Obama's that you have that are not your own? Do you have absolutely any clue? No, she has zero clue. And the fact that she came out and did this crappy press conference, which wasn't even a press conference, it was just her getting in front of a camera and calling. That's her campaign now. You guys, listen to this. Her campaign, we have 13 days left. Instead of talking about immigration, talking about foreign policy, talking about domestic policy, economic policy, talking about law and order, talking about her ideas for the public sector, private sector, how is she going to rebuild? She calls our president, which she's actually stolen. How many ideas? No tax on tips. How many ideas has she stolen? Now she's in favor of the wall. She keeps flip-flopping on fracking. Frack you, Kamala. Instead of actually sharing real ideas with the American public, her campaign now is to call Trump the worst fascist that ever lived. I'm not even going to say his name. That's your idea of a political candidate? This is the person you want negotiating with Xi of China, with Vladimir Putin, with Kim Jong-un, and other nefarious leaders, the Ayatollahs, the Saudis? This is the person you want negotiating on behalf of us Americans? I don't think so. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Hasta la pasta. Not over my dead body. Holy macadamia nut. What else was I going to show you guys? So we need this video to go viral. I beg you, not for me, tap the thumbs up if you haven't already. It takes you less than a nanosecond and it's 100% free. Just tap the thumbs up, please. Do it right now, because what that does is trigger the algorithm. When you tap the thumbs up, the algorithm goes, oh, wait a minute, people like this. It gets out there. So then the woke fake Kamala DNC won't have time to delete and bury this video, because the algorithm would have already glommed onto it. So please do that right now and leave a comment. Let me know where you guys are joining me from, what city, what state, what country. I would love to hear from you guys. I want to know. We've got so much stuff planned.